as you think about the disdain for Trump, the question is, can someone lead America based on where we're at and be liked? Because it's going to be hard. Americans, I think we're very spoiled. I think we don't want any discomfort. We don't want anything that's going to disrupt our lives, and we'd rather be. I was telling my friend, we debate about this. I think Kamala, had she won, she would have made you not think about these things and made everybody feel okay. We're going to come together. We're going to feel good and opportunity zone, and then not deal with the underlying cancers that we actually have going
Isn't
on.
that
Because
what the
there
other
is
presidents
those
did?
things are real.
So if you think about George Bush, Clinton, the other Bush, Reagan, isn't that what they all did?
They
So
absolutely did.
status
You're
quo.
absolutely
Yeah,
right. And
I don't think
yeah, exactly.
anyone has ever been universally liked. You know what I mean? Like, but
Barack Obama was liked.
I don't think he was
He
universally. He
was
wasn't universally liked. There are,
not
you know what
universally,
I'm
but
saying?
he had a
Like,
high approval rating.
but yeah, very high approval rate. But I'm saying the difference is we go back to the presentation. You know what I mean? Like yeah, there were people who really disliked him. The whole birther debate, all that shit. He went through some stuff too, but he handled it with a sense of grace, and it's a sense of grace that we don't get from the current administration. And therein
Well, that's my
lies,
that's my that's my question. I guess my open ended question is that, do you think you can handle the tough? Do you think there's someone who can handle tough things and also be liked? You know what I'm saying?
It's
Because
not
and let me just say
necessarily
this before you
about.
answer. Let me just say this. Not about as far as the presentation.
mhm,
I mean, because you can present things nicely. Barack Obama had amazing presentation for me, the best I've seen. But
Yeah.
if he did something that he felt like he had to do that made Americans uncomfortable, can you still like that person? Because that's what I think is more the question. I agree, Trump is not likable, but if Barack Obama decided, if he was president right now and felt like he had to raise tariffs to do certain things, would we get behind him and say, I understand where he's coming from and what he needs to do if he explained it? Or would we be pissed off if we had to pay higher prices or went through stock market chaos, blah, blah, blah?
I think it would be a combination of
yeah,
both,
Both, yeah.
because again,
yeah,
you have a
Yep.
presentation thing, and it
Hmm.
certain hard things are much easier to deal with from a likable person, from a
True.
person who is respectful, and because a person who is respectful shows respect for the people that they're talking to. And so it's much easier to accept a hard thing from somebody who you feel respects you,
Hmm.
somebody who you feel, values you in some way.
Hmm.
And yeah, you might be pissed off about it. And like, oh man, this sucks. I wish there was some other way. And you don't have to like
yeah.
it,
It's not always what
but
you say; it's how you say it. How you say it
it's
plays
how you say it.
is so
Presentation.
big, and so yeah. There's gonna be people who are. I don't think anybody can be universally liked, or they can do things that we might dislike as individuals. But if it's actually explained and it's communicated in a certain manner, we can accept it.
You
You know what I
trust
mean?
it.
If we
And you
Exactly.
know there's
trust
a
it.
what the I'm sorry,
And you
go ahead.
trust it. You trust it.
And I can yeah,
Right.
Guys, I'm holding my tongue. I'm holding my tongue
and you
because
have been for a while.
If Barack Obama was doing what Donald Trump is doing to the economy right now, his ass would be shot. I'm sorry, y'all. He wouldn't be in the
Agreed.
White House. You wouldn't know where Barack was.
Hmm.
They put a,
Yeah.
come on, y'all.
Okay.
Then
Come
there's
on
No,
that.
hold your
now.
tongue. I mean, that's
Yeah,
so you're saying that he would be pretty much persecuted for doing what Donald Trump is doing.
He was
Absolutely,
persecuted
y'all. I
for
mean,
wearing a
come
cream
on, y'all.
suit, y'all.
I was
Yeah.
going to say for the
right.
smallest thing,
I mean, they,
you know,
I mean, they wouldn't do anything to support this man. As a matter of fact, if Barack was not president, Donald Trump probably never would have been president.
Boom. I'm glad you said that.
No, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
So I'm
So,
holding
well,
my
what?
tongue
Well, say
because
more on that. Say more
I
on that.
don't.
Why?
I
Why
mean,
do you say that?
because it was when Barack came into office. He's loved. Black people supported him more than they did Kamala. I mean, white women supported Barack. I mean, they came and white women did not vote for
Nope.
Kamala. white women voted for Donald Trump. So wait a minute. I mean, this is too deep. We don't have enough time to
No,
have
we
this
got time.
conversation.
Yeah, please go
But
ahead.
let me just say this. When Barack came into office, he divided the United States more. He just angered white men.
Oh,
I mean, he did. I mean, they supported him, but then they turned against him too. Why? I mean, that probably has some deep rooted racial,
That goes Nick.
you know,
Yes.
I'm
but
behind
Barack
it.
had pretty high approval ratings, as far as I understand, throughout his presidency. So
He
why do you say that?
he had approval ratings, but he couldn't get shit passed
He
while
had
he
no
was in
Congress.
Right.
office.
He had no Congress to
I mean,
support
they
him.
would not support
They shot
him.
down
I
everything.
mean, they shot down his
Yeah.
policies. They didn't support him. They vote. I mean, people voted for him, but when he became president, he could not get things passed as the president of the United States.
Hmm.
He could not get support from Congress.
So let me ask this. So what would you think if Barack just went just like Trump and just executive this, executive that, and didn't
He didn't do
If
that
they would
because he
escort him
wanted to
out,
follow the
he'd be
law.
done.
But
Well,
exactly,
they would have.
you're asking me
Yeah,
what I
they
think.
would
Because right
have.
what
now,
do they
oh, we don't know
Yes,
what to
yeah,
do. But if it was
absolutely.
Barack,
but
they
he
figure
didn't
out
do
what to
that.
do. And
He didn't
It's an
abuse his power
interesting
in that way.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
that's
how
an
I feel
interesting question
it.
though. I would probably if Barack, I guess, knowing how I look at things, if Barack was doing some of the same things, I would trust him, because I'd say, you know what, okay, what the reason you're doing it, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm more of a logic guy, so I'm like, okay, if what you're doing is, there's a particular reason, because there's some things you do from a leader standpoint that affect today, and there's some things that affect, 10 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
15 years from now. So,
Mhm.
anything that's monetary is not going to happen overnight. I mean, anything that's economy or anything monetary is going to take some years. I mean, maybe 5 years at the earliest. I mean, a lot of things. So we didn't get where we're at now overnight. So it take years to get there as far as policy. But that's a good point. That's a good point. People probably would look at it differently based on who he is, and even if he was doing something right, they
Mhm.
may have got on him hard. And I think that could be some of the same issue in the inverse with Trump, because depending on what he's doing, I think we also have a lot of people who are like, I don't care what he's doing, I don't like it, I don't like him. So I think it could go the same way with one way looking at Barack Obama for one way, and then you could also say that possibly about Donald Trump too, because But I thought it was interesting that you said that Donald Trump wouldn't have been president. Now that's an interesting
Mhm.
point, Tanja. I've never thought about that. The reason why I thought Donald Trump won is because I thought in 2016 Americans, or 2015 going into 16, I thought Americans were tired of the average politician, and he came in there. The way he debated and the stuff he was saying was totally different. So I think Americans kind of rejected the average politician.
Nope.
That's how I saw it.
Nope.
White
So
supremacy.
I go back to the popular vote. Americans didn't reject it. Americans voted for Hillary. She
Typical.
just didn't win where the electoral votes were. But the popular vote was Hillary. She won. She got more votes. So America didn't reject the typical politician. We actually in 2016 rejected him. But again, it wasn't how many votes he got. It was where he got the votes
Yep.
that mattered more, and that's how he won
well,
that.
that's a good point. That's a good point, because I think they should do away with the electoral college.
Absolutely.
I
I
think they should
agree.
have
I
I
think
do
been
that
too.
done with
that was
that.
the election where that should have been done because
Okay.
that was the perfect
I,
example of it's not
I was
what.
going back to look at that. That's a good point, B. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. You good. Go ahead.
Oh, no, no. I was just going back. I was just looking up what you were saying. She won the popular vote
Hmm.
by 2.9 million.
Yeah.
So
So Americans voted for her. We just, like I say,
interesting.
we just they didn't vote where it mattered the most, or he won. He won in the states that it mattered more because electoral votes are how we elect presidents. So
But to
Okay.
Shy's point, like I get where you're going with that because people could have looked at him like, oh, this is a businessman. Maybe he'll bring a whole new perspective to this government that we've had for years and years. So I
A
see where
lot
you're
of
going
people
with
thought
that.
that.
But no.
I mean, like when I hear people say he's a businessman, I mean that confuses me. I mean, the man had what, six businesses and they all failed, or he or he committed some type of fraudulent act on what was it, Trump University. I mean, he had a real estate company. I mean, come on, the man is a crook, guy. I mean, he's a crook. So I mean,
That
I
may
don't
be a
even
that
know
may be
how
a little
we
bit of a
Yep.
stretch
he
though.
is a crook. It's no
Crook.
little bit. The man is a
He's
crook.
a convicted felon,
I
sir.
mean,
That's just
He is a crook. Yeah, he's a felon. He's a convicted felon.
And here's the thing,
That's
this
And
it's not new either. This is not
most
new
most
information.
people with
People act
businesses
like it
fail
just
many
came
times and
out.
file bankruptcy. That's not really
listen, do
like
you think Barack ever would have been president
no,
if he was a convicted felon? I mean,
no.
come on now.
never in a
They
million.
wouldn't even let that man think about walking in the White House. He couldn't even walk in the White
Yeah.
House. I mean, they didn't even want felons to vote. So why are we having this discussion? This is ridiculous
because
now.
his
Come on.
whiteness prevailed, and
well,
that's the bottom
Yeah.
line with
what
him.
His
It's
privilege,
his
his white
whiteness. It's his
privilege.
white privilege.
This this is the same man that said he could walk out on Pennsylvania Avenue and kill people and would not go to jail. And he's almost doing that. He is almost they're pretty much allowing him to destroy this country. Period.
well, let me okay, so with that point, and then I want to talk about Doge for a little bit on that point.
Can we talk about
So,
flowers and butterflies at this
Yeah, I got
point?
about 10 minutes left. This is school night.
Me too.
So we gonna go to Dodge
okay.
next. I don't think we got time, brother.
You know,
Don't.
so let me ask y'all though. Here's the thing. We know that, and there may be a time in the future where you don't like a president. I mean, that's going to happen one way or another. People don't like their take a look at Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson is a mayor. He has a 7%
Yeah,
approval rating. People hate him. He's a black man in a black city. People hate him.
voting
He has a
black.
horrible, horrible record.
Got a
So
terrible barber
that's
too.
just
Man, thank
Bro,
you.
I
Oh
hate
my
his haircut,
God.
bro. I hate his
That is
haircut.
whack. A little mohawk, that is
God,
tired.
I hate
No.
that.
you know what?
Oh, that's
B, you
funny.
know why I love you, bro? You say some of the
Oh,
things that are like in
Jesus.
my subconscious that don't come out of my mouth, but I knew there was something I
Yes.
don't like
I
about
hate
him.
his haircut, bro. It kills me every time. I've been like, this.
He's got the
oh,
You know what he's got? He's got the same haircut that kind of what my son has. I cut my son's hair like that. And that's what you're supposed to have when you're like 9 or 10 or
But not when
14.
you're 40.
You ain't supposed to have like that mohawk when you're in your
He
40s and
be a grown
50s.
man leading the city with a haircut like that, bro. Like,
okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That just took me to Baltimore. I'm here in Baltimore with Brandon Scott when he came out with his afro and people were going crazy. Like white people were like, "What is that mushroom on the top of his head?" Like,
yeah,
I'm like, well, I mean, I didn't have a problem with it, but
I would prefer an afro versus this mohawk thing that
This
this dude
weird
got, man.
brohawk
Like,
mohawk. It's not hot. It's not.
Let
it's
me look at Brandon
It's
Scott.
like a
Okay,
mohawk
now
slash
Brandon Scott.
Gumby. It's like
yeah, like it's the
No, Brandon Scott's haircut is for Baltimore. His hair is cool. Like it's not crazy.
yeah,
Like he still looks
there
like a
was.
grown
I
man.
mean, but he
It's
gets so much
respectable.
hate. It's awful, mostly from
No, Brand
white people, but it's
Brandon Johnson's haircut though. That
I'm gonna
haircut,
have to
I
look.
knew there was
like
something. I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
it's
You It was in my subconscious. It's like something annoys me when he speaks and I look at him, I'm like, dog, I can't
that's
take
what
this
it
yeah,
is.
seriously. That's
Like,
what it is.
you went to the barber and
It's the
asked for
haircut.
that, bro. Like, you
on
actually sat down
purpose.
in the chair.
Yeah.
Continuously ask for it too.
Yes.
Yes. That's his trademark.